Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Giratina in the Ultra League, but not the Giratina that you see all the time, but the Giratina Origin, a Pokemon that was actually very popular back in the day. So I kind of want to try it out again, and today we're going to have a team with only legendary Pokemon because I thought that would be kind of fitting for today's Pokemon that we feature. We're going to have here the Tapu Fini, which is going to be one of the best Pokemon that you can build for the Open Ultra League. This Pokemon is insanely strong, and here we're going to see as well, it's going to be very decent against Gliscor, but also against all the Charizard, it's the best answer for it. I really wish that I had better IVs than the ones that I have here right now for this Pokemon, because I feel like IVs matter quite a lot for this Pokemon. But here we're going to be able to realign against the Gliscor, have the Clefable against us. We can go for one Moonblast, put them very, very low with that one as well. They're kind of forced to either throw or swap out here. And they're going to throw the move against me, which is going to now knock me out, but I can still align my Giratina now against the opponent's Swampert. My Giratina IVs are also horrific. This is one of the Pokemon that I built very early on, which I got traded with a double move already, so that's why the stats are so bad. But here we're going to now be able to farm them all the way down, and this is all we really needed, as the Swampert gonna go down and the opponent going to forfeit. First game, first win. Next opponent, we're going to have a Registeel swapping in against us. And this is the cool thing about Giratina as well, that we're going to be able to be fairly decent against opponents' Registeels, as you're going to be able to resist all the moves, as well as we're going to do more damage than, for example, a normal Giratina, thanks to us having the move Shadow Ball. But still, because our Vs are so bad, we're actually a 3-shot, I think, from the Zap Cannon, which I don't think usually are, if our Vs would be a little bit better. But like this, we're going to still be able to realign here if we want to, but of course my opponent gets 2 debuffs immediately here. As you're going to see, the Tapu Fini came back in. I'm going to be able to go for another charge move here, and this is going to get them a little bit lower, putting them into the Zap Cannon range, and I can now actually shield up the move here, because I kind of wanted to keep my Shadow Ball for the Registeel for later. So now I can go ahead, go into my own Registeel, can let everything go through here basically. Going to do a little bit of damage against us, but we can now go ahead and go for the Zap Cannon, which is going to destroy the opponent's Tapu Fini, as the opponent's Registeel is coming back in. We can let this move go through. They're going to knock us out with one Focus Blast though, but I'm actually going to shield so I can get the final shield of the opponent, which will allow us then to just hit the Shadow Ball against them immediately, which will be very good for us, as I can even swap out in time and hit the opponent with the Shadow Ball here, which is going to do a ton of damage. They are forced to swap out, and they're going to have the Charizard in the back, which definitely does not want to encounter the Tapu Fini, which will be able to go for a Surf after the opponent went for the Blast Burn here. And we're going to have a very good matchup for us right now. The Surf going to knock them out, the opponent's Registeel has only a few HP left, and also we have our own Registeel left, so this is going to be a very good game. Next opponent, we're going to have an Alolan Muk in the lead. Very decent leads our Registeel today, which is pretty nice for me as well. But in comes now the opponent's Scrafty, a Pokemon that we can counter fairly hard with our Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini, definitely MVP of this team here. Has so many great matchups right now in the current meta, as well as if you have a better IV variant, it's most likely even better than what I played here. But we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Moonblast against the opponent's Scrafty. Going to knock them out with this one, as it's going to be double super effective, and we see the opponent's Muk coming back in, which also has to eat a Moonblast, which is going to put them now into Focus Blast / Zap Cannon range as well. But they're going to swap out into the Obstagoon, and this is horrible for us. I expected this kinda after seeing this Scrafty. They're going to have the double Core Breaker for our team. This is a Core Breaker for our team in general, Obstagoon and Scrafty. But of course we have one good answer for it, but if this one good answer is gone, there's not a lot that we can do otherwise. Yeah, I think they didn't get the debuff from our Zap Cannon, because our Registeels are always broken on my channel. So that's always nice. I can now shield up the next move from the opponent, going to be another Night Slash, and I can go for the Zap Cannon this time around. Maybe I get the debuff for a first time here, and I will be able to get the debuff here, which is really nice, as I'm going to be able to catch the move onto my Tapu Fini. This might be a game changer here, as we can now go ahead and go. I should actually go back into my Registeel, I feel like. But I go into my Giratina. We have the Dragon Pulse, which is really nice for this matchup. But we're going to see as well that the opponent can go for one Dark Pulse. They're going to get us low enough that we're going to go down by just one charge move by the opponent before. But now we're going to be able to go for one Shadow Ball. We see the opponent coming back into the Obstagoon. And yes, we're going to have the Dragon Pulse here, so we're going to do some damage. But sadly, Dragon Pulse is not going to do enough damage to knock out the opponent yet. And they played very smart, as they went up to 100 energy with their Obstagoon. Going to go for one charge move here, going to go for another charge move here, which I'm going to be able to survive still. but they are going to get to another one just in time here, and this is going to be a good game to the opponent. Double core breaker for his team was just a little bit too much to deal with. Next opponent, Deoxys in the lead. Not really ideal for us, as counter is going to be super effective, but as you maybe already know from the Great League meta, you're going to still be able to do a fairly decent job with the Registeel here. There's no real reason for me to swap out. I get the attack drop as well this time around, which is really nice to see because it's kind of important in this matchup, as they go ahead and go for the Rock Slide, and they're going to swap out into their own Registeel. What this means, you most likely already know. I should have most likely went for the bait here first. But yeah, we're going to, of course, get some more energy and perfectly catch the Focus Blast onto our Giratina, which is doing basically 0 damage against the opponent. And we can go ahead and go for one Shadow Ball right now. This Shadow Ball is going to do around 40% against the opponent's health here as well, which is nice. And we're going to put them close to the range where we can knock them out with another one if we don't get debuffed by the Zap Cannon. Of course, for my opponent, it's always the 100% chance to debuff my attack, which is just always the case against me, so we're gonna be able to go for one Shadow Ball here, and we're gonna get some damage still off. Of course, without the debuff, we would have been able to knock them out, but we don't get 2 debuffs, right? Of course, we do get 2 debuffs here. Then this kind of flips the matchup a little bit, but we're still going to be able to farm down with the Tapu Fini. In comes again the Deoxys, and I expect them that they're going to have the Obstagoon in the back here. So I'm going to let those moves go through, and I will see that they're going to go ahead and stay in here. I can go for one Zap Cannon, knock them out maybe, but no, they're going to shield this move up, and they're going to go ahead and now go into their Weezing actually. Galarian Weezing in the back. This is going to be interesting. I can go for one charge move here. I can still take one charge move here as well. But what I'm going to do here is, as well, I'm going to just shield this move up. I know it's going to be a brutal swing. I know that I can go for one Zap Cannon here, and the Zap Cannon is going to do a ton of damage, putting them into range where I can go ahead and go into my Tapu Fini, go for one Surf, knock them out. And this is going to be a very good game here, as we see that the opponent going to have their Deoxys left, but there's nothing that they can do. Moving on to the next game here, we're going to have a very bad lead for us with the Shadow Swampert. We're going to swap out immediately, and we're going to get out the Shadow variant of the Ninetales as well here. Double Shadow so far from the opponent, but we're going to get a shield advantage here, which is going to be something I'm going to take and I'm going to keep, as we're going to let the move go through. We would be able to, we wouldn't be able to get to another move anyway. So like this, we can go back into our Registeel. We can take the move here, going to be most likely, oh, actually a Weather Ball. I guess I try to maybe get rid of the clock here right now, as they're going to go ahead and go for another Weather Ball. Now they can swap out, and they're going to swap out into their own Registeel. But the cool thing here is I will be able to go ahead and go for another Focus Blast before they even reach their first one, which is really nice for me. It's this going to force another shield or nearly the knockout, but I can knock them out now with a Tapu Fini. And in comes most likely the Ice-type Pokemon again, Ninetales. But no, they're actually swapping in their Swampert for whatever reason. This is going to be super nice for us. This might be already an Earthquake, maybe not, I don't know. It's going to be the Hydro Cannon. I'm just going to shield up everything here because I can go ahead and go into my Registeel later on, which will be very nice for me. Like this, I'm gonna get the opponent super low, and I'm going to also turn down the switch clock here as well. As they swap in their Ninetales, I'm going to go ahead and let this move go through here, of course, and I have no other chance anyway. Dazzling Beam comes through, their shield is right now. I can swap out right now here as well. I can let them throw a charge move. I'm going to farm up to 100 energy onto my Registeel. This forces the opponent to throw basically as soon as they're gonna get to another Hydro Cannon, which should not allow them to get to any other charge move afterwards. And we're going to see right now, can we outspeed them here? Maybe even? Yes, we can. And this is going to be a good game here, as our Registeel is going to finish up this battle. Let's take a look at the next game here. We're going to have Registeel against the Jellicent. Very nice lead force, exactly what we want to face, as you're going to get out the Skuntank, which is exactly what we also would like to face on this Pokemon. But I don't really want to see it on any other Pokemon. But luckily, the opponent going to decide to let this move go through and allowing me to catch a Flamethrower here onto my Tapu Fini, which is so weird. Like, you usually would never run like your Tapu Fini against a Skuntank here. But with the charge moves being resisted, as well as them being debuffed from our Zap Cannon, I was able to just flip the switch here, which is really nice. And I will be able to also go for a Moonblast against the opponent's Jellicent, which gonna put them fairly low. And not even that, I also going to be able to reach another Surf against them. So, like this, we're going to be able to get the opponent close to the red health here as well, actually into the red health with our Tapu Fini. I don't get the extra fast move in here, which I should have got in. The game is still so nice and inconsistent, but I still will be able to take this move here. And let's see what they're going to have in the back. I hope that they have something in the back I can deal with, and it's going to be the Gliscor in the back. So, now we got the opponent's Jellicent a little bit lower with our Shadow Claw, and we should be okay here. We can let the first move go through, and as long as they don't boost, we should be able to reach another Shadow Ball afterwards and have a great time here. Of course, why not? It's always the same, isn't it? Like the one time where you shouldn't boost. Like, I'm not sure if I would have been able to reach 3 Shadow Balls anyway. But I guess if you double boosts immediately, like, it doesn't matter anyway either. So, yeah, I don't know. It's always so frustrating, right? Like, I don't think I really have to tell you. It's always so frustrating if you literally get the boost onto the opponent immediately in situations where it really does matter. But yeah, here we're going to have now the opponent's Charizard again against our Tapu Fini, and they actually make a weird play here by shielding this move up as they're going to be able to realign. I actually wanted to throw earlier, but it lagged, which you still saw there with 2x speed. But I was able to shield up a Dragon Claw, great shield by me, but they're gonna go for another one and I can still knock them out, realign, and also still get to a Moonblast, which is going to be very nice, as this is going to put them into range for both a Shadow Ball later on maybe, or the Focus Blast, or any charge move here from our team. Going to knock out the Warrior now, which is really nice for us as well. As they're gonna go for the Earthquake, I will be able to now go for the Zapkin against the incoming Weezing here. This is going to be a weird matchup because the opponent might run Play Rough or they might run Overheat. But I feel like this one was way too fast. It's going to be just a Brutal Swing, so they most likely run Play Rough and Brutal Swing, which will allow me to go for another charge move here. And this will knock the opponent out here as well as the Warring comes in. But this is going to be a very close matchup here as they're going to go ahead and go for a charge move. I'm going to go ahead and also throw the Zapkin here in order to try to get a debuff onto the opponent. Maybe I can just take an Earthquake or something and then knock them out later on. Let's see, we're going to have the debuff now and we're going to swap out perfectly. Timing was exactly insanely perfect onto the Earthquake here, as we're going to take this move, and we can also now, because of the debuff, take another Icicle Spear, and we're going to just be able to knock them out with one Shadow Ball here right now. This was so nicely played from me, of course. I'm gonna tap my own shoulder here right now for that. Like, definitely so nicely played. They caught the Earthquake, got the debuff with a Zap Cannon bait, basically. Even though it takes my energy, it's not really the ideal move that you would expect that the opponent throws. But yeah, next one. We're going to have the Jellicent here, going to go for a Shadow Ball, but I can now retaliate with one Zap Cannon against the opponent. Going to do some pretty decent damage. And also going to get the debuff against them, which is nice, as they're going to be able to swap onto the charge move here into our Tapu Fini. It's going to be a Shadow Ball, but we can take it fairly easily, and I kind of want to keep my Registeel alive, as I will be able to take another charge move here. And I will be able to farm them all the way down, most likely. But no, they're going to swap out into the Skuntank, allowing us to align our Pokemon perfectly, but also get to the Moonblast here and do a ton of damage. It's still going to be a tough match to win, as we're going to see the opponent going for a charge move here. It's going to be the Crunch, great play by them for going for the bait here. But I can go ahead and go for my Zap Cannon, which is going to get the knockout actually against the opponent, as they're going to have Poliwrath in the back. This is actually a very decent matchup for our Giratina, but again, here you're going to see if my IVs are a little bit better. This matchup going to be a little bit better as well, but I will be able to farm down. I would be able to survive two, like at least one move here for sure, with a little bit of better IVs for me. But as you're going to see right now, I can still reach the Shadow Ball here against the opponent, which is going to be nice. Gonna get the shield, of course. I'm going to shield up this move as well here, but they're gonna counter me kinda down to the Ice Punch range, which is not really ideal for me. So I can have to swap out here against into the Registeel. They're gonna go for a charge move, going to be the Scald, which does not knock me out. Now I have a 66% chance of winning this game. I just need the debuff here and I would be able to win this game. 66% chance. It's always the same. You know it already, I would have been able to survive an Ice Punch here for sure. But like this, there is no way for that, and we're gonna take this loss. It is like a 66% chance for the debuff. Would have been able to survive the Ice Punch even with my IVs. Yeah, we're going to go on to the next game here. We're going to have the Deoxys defense in the lead here. Gonna go for the Zap Cannon. Of course, our debuff luck on Zap Cannon just continues here. But at least you're gonna get out the Drapion, which I guess is going to be better for us, as the Zap Cannon comes through against them here as well. And this time around, we're actually gonna get a debuff. I wasn't sure if this was actually still in the game, but we're gonna get the Crunch against us here right now, which is not gonna get the debuff either. 30% chance, we have a 66% chance, and actually we're gonna get it twice, which is really insane. Like, I didn't expect this one. Great for me, great for me. I will be able to know, maybe force another shield by the opponent, maybe not as they go for another charge move, but I can shield this move up. It's going to be a crunch, and I will be able to go for the focus burst and either align my Pokemon correctly or get a shield advantage, and I take this shield advantage. Because, like this, you're going to see what the opponent goes for. It's going to be the Aqua Tail. So they're going to be completely hardballed by the Tapu Fini, where I can just go into this Pokemon, farm them all the way down, and I'm going to have a great time here with all the energy I just gained. As the opponent gonna go into their Deoxys, I catch the move. I expect them to have the Obstagoon in the back, that's why I swapped out, but they actually have the Alolan Sandslash in the back. And this is going to be okay for us as we still have a shield left, and I can go for that shield, go for the Shadow Ball here right now onto the CMP tie. And this Alolan Sandslash will not appreciate this move here. Boom, going to do a ton of damage, and now we're going to see that they have no chance of winning this game anymore. And they also realize this now, as this is going to be the end of this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Also, check out the videos on the screen right now, and I see you in the next game. Next video. Bye.